Good morning, everyone. Sunday was the longest day of the year. I don't know if you've had anybody since then that has said to you, the nights are now on the turn. But we have this tendency to look towards the future instead of just living in the moment. For fear of doing the same thing, I want to tell you about an incident that happened in our home one Christmas many years ago when my girls were very young. It was late on Christmas Eve, and one of the girls came down crying. She couldn't get to sleep. She had been given a card by her aunt that day. It was a card that played a Christmas song when you opened it. She complained that she couldn't get to sleep because the card kept on playing. When I went upstairs with her, sure enough, the mechanism on the card had broken and it was playing continually, and there was no way to stop it. I wanted to take the card out of the room, but my daughter said no, it was from her auntie and she wanted to keep it. So in the end, we came to this arrangement that I opened one of her drawers, put the card underneath a pile of her clothes, and closed it. And she couldn't hear the playing of the card. She went to sleep and we had a great Christmas. But about 3 or 4 nights after Christmas, I was going to the bathroom in the middle of the night and I thought, I can hear a noise. And as I listened closely, I could hear the card playing. And then over the next number of weeks, if I went up to the girls' room and opened the drawer in where the card was, I could hear it even louder. And if I lifted some of her clothes, it was even louder still. Now, I think right throughout our lives, the sound of God's love for us is constantly playing. But most of the time we don't hear it because we're much too busy with other things. But there are times in our lives when we're perhaps listening for it a little bit more closely and it sounds more real to us. Often it's in times of trouble and distress in our lives that we hear it most loudly. And I wonder over these last months of lockdown with the coronavirus, has the sound of God's love been more clearly heard by many of us? And I fear that as the restrictions are lifted and we start getting back to normal life, that we will become once again deaf to the sound of that love. And so if in recent days the message of God's love has been sounding in your heart and mind in a much clearer way, could I urge you, don't forget about it. Don't be like the people that God said to long ago, today if you hear my voice, harden not your hearts. Instead, take the opportunity to open your heart to that love and to discover the reality of that love in Jesus. Put your trust in him and allow him to be the one who guides you on the path of life. The sound of God's love is always playing in our lives. Are you hearing it? Could I encourage you, respond and open your hearts to Jesus. Have a good day.